over here.
What are you doing here, Brooke?
I mean, when duty calls, I mean, if I want to win the draft that I'm gonna win, I might as well show up to an episode, right?
Hey, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you jumping in because schedules are weird and people have lives. Hello. Welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. And welcome to...
Look over here.
Our exclusive companion series. It is Relisa. We've started using the double of Jada and Relisa.
Iconic.
Period. Where our exclusive companion series where we are diving into the looks from episode 6 of season 17 of RuPaul's Drag Race. The Ball! Woo! The Ball! I am Logan Brook. Say something gay. Gay. I am currently just drinking on some water. That's all, because hydration is of the essence of Hall. Shout out to, as always, Jada Essence Hall. And of course, I always have my cup mug on hand. She's currently holding some medications because that's what she does now. But we both got a lovely cup mug. You could get yours too at lanajcreations.etsy.com. That link is down in the description below. And we do ship domestically within North America and internationally, so there are no excuses unless your postal service is weird. Then, things might happen, but you could still get one. And we support you whether you do or do not get a cup mug, but we would love if you did.
Mm-hmm. And hi, everybody, it's Brooke, and I am passionate about pop culture. I am currently drinking a generic bottle of water. Thank you very much. And this was a ball.
It certainly was a ball that exists.
It was a ball that exists where I don't agree with the judging, aka every single ball that has ever happened on Drag Race.
Her. I understand. I know some of your opinions, and I'm actually very excited to dive into this ball here today. We are talking about the Let's Get Sickening ball, and we're going to dive right in. Pun intended. Before we do, though, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag race, drag interviews, drag things, yes God, diva, the house, the boots, period, yes God.
We do it all the time.
We do it all the time, serving kind. That's can't.
K-A-N-T.
As in singing.
Mm-hmm. We're just very happy about Malta.
We're very happy about Malta. And make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access with a lot of fun Patreon content coming very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. But without further ado, Brooke, I think we should go to the runway.
Bring it to the runway.
Ow. It is the Let's Get Sickening ball. Categories are Bathing Beauties, Creature Couture, and Sickening Eleganza. We're going to be talking about each queen's package as a whole. So we're going to talk about one queen and then talk about the next queen and do that, so on and so forth. So yeah, first up, Crystal Envy in her Bathing Beauties look.
Fine.
Right? Fine.
And that's how I kind of feel about this category as a whole. I didn't care for this category.
Not a strong category.
Well, and not even from the queens. I think as a choice of having a ball category be themed around bathing suits,
yeah,
I think you're not really opening up the floor to much uniqueness. Because even the queens that I think hit this category out of the park, they only did it because they added like something extra that made it feel different. Like most of this category is just going to be fine.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it as well. I like the Barbie reference. I think it's cute. She's from Jersey, so it makes sense. The actual bathing suit, though, simple, is very well executed. I love the chevron on it. I think she looks good in it. I love the addition of the fringe. I think that, that adds a lot of comedy. And that is one thing that I've been loving about Crystal so far is she is giving a lot of uniqueness and a lot of versatility as far as the runway is concerned. So I I really appreciated it for what it was.
Crystal Envy, despite not having a win, has been kind of killing this competition so
She's
far.
been high, I think, 4 times so far.
Yeah, she was top 2 in the talent show as well. Like she did, she's been doing very well, which is kind of different than how I expected her to do. So I'm excited to see what she does.
Right.
Like if she keeps doing it.
Right, exactly. I'm excited. Scores for Crystal for the bathing suit look.
I can't really score this super high because I want to score other looks super high, but I could also use this with a bathing suit bell curve. So with employing the use of the Drag Race bathing suit bell curve, patent pending, we're going to give it an 80.
All right. I'm going to give her a 75.
Valid.
Let's talk about Crystal in her sea creature look doing, I don't remember what her
Pufferfish.
Pufferfish. That's what it was.
I did not like it until she puffed it up. When she puffed it up,
fair.
Fair. I like the shoe. I love the shoe.
Love the shoe.
I didn't really get pufferfish until it was puffed up, but then again, pufferfish don't really give you pufferfish until they're puffed up. So, like, I guess that's kind of the point.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's good for what it is. I do agree. I like it much more. I like it much more when it was inflated. I love the shoe. I think overall she killed it. The garment is really cool. Overall, thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
Thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
Scores.
I'm gonna give it a 90.
I'm gonna give her an 83.
Work Diva.
And last up is her design challenge look.
So at first I didn't like it. And then I looked at it a little bit more. I'm like, well, there's a lot of effort that has been put into this. There's a lot of construction that's been put into this. And I really do appreciate it. I'm personally not a fan of like the Starburst Juicy Fruit pattern that's going on here. But that's not really, I mean, it is her fault. But like at the same time, I just don't think pink and yellow go very well together as like a color palette. At least not this like bubblegum pink and this like muted yellow. I just don't care for it. But I will say the actual outfit and the way it is constructed are very impressive. Anytime people have that like tight wrapping around their legs, I think they're going to fall over. And I'm waiting for someone to fall over on the main stage. But not that I want it, but it's going to happen eventually when somebody's walking out in something like this where they can barely move. It just, what is it, Crystal? So good job, Crystal. I think you did a really good job on this look.
I was really impressed with this. This was one of my favorite designed looks of this category. I think she knocked it out of the park. For this also not being a stretch fabric, I think she did the absolute best that she could. I love that a lot of the girls went very grungy, very dark color palettes with their design challenge look. And I love that Crystal immediately went to this pink and yellow. I do agree about the color palette. It's not my absolute favorite, but I think with what she did, it's very well executed. The glove is great. The amount of like lays that she had to cut up and hand apply on here is so good. It adds a lot of subtle detailing, which I think is really cool. The only thing I would have personally changed is I would have liked if the flowers from the lays alternated colors. So it was all the pink flower on the pink stripe and the yellow on the yellow stripe. I wish it was flipped. I think that might have added a little bit more visual interest. But overall, it's a very well executed garment, and I thought she did a great job.
Yeah. An 80.
87.
Valid.
Next up on the runway, Jules Sparkles in her Bathing Beauties look.
Meh. It's fine. again, this is what I will be saying for the majority of the looks in this category. I like.
Yeah.
It's a bathing suit made out of materials that is on her body. Like, what else do I say? I like the shoe. I like the shoe. I don't care for this wig. But yeah.
I don't like it. This was my least favorite in this category. I really, there's nothing about this I like. And I love Jules. I love Jules so fiercely. And I will sing her praises in both of the other categories in this ball. I think this look alone is the sole reason she was not in the top. Because I think otherwise, what she presented could have given her a top placement. I don't like the hair. I think the hair washes her out. I don't like the shade of gold on her. Whatever the strappy situation is in the middle underneath the chain, I don't love. The chain is the only part that I'm liking. And even then, I don't really like the way that it's draped around the waist. I'm not feeling it.
I think one of the big problems I have with it on closer inspection is that the material, it looks, I could be wrong, right? It looks almost like a lycra kind of material, like a vinyl on the boob and on the crotch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not stretched, so it's wrinkly. And that bugs me.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. It's not as bad on the lower end as it is on the upper end, but we're seeing it more on the upper end. So like, maybe just pull those straps a little bit tighter, tie it a little bit better. I don't know. I don't like it.
It's a no from me, dog.
It's a no from me, dog.
Scores.
45.
37.
We're on the same page today, and it's weird.
I know. I'm not sure how much I like that.
I don't think it'll last very long.
No. But maybe it'll last through Jules' second look, her Sea Creature Couture look.
Honey.
Honey. Oh, honey. Baby.
Girl. This is how you do Sea Creature. This right here. A Spanish dancer is a great choice for this. This is perfect. I have no notes. I can't be bothered to fuss about it. It's beautiful. The only thing I would have changed is maybe the wig and have the wig bleed a little bit more into the colors of the look. But even then, the wig she chose isn't actively distracting from the look. So I think that's probably a good choice too. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, I absolutely love this. I think though I really agree about I wish the hair was ombre in the same way that the garment is. I think that's the one thing I would have altered. But like you said, this wig is not taking me out by any means of the imagination. I was really impressed with this look from Jules. This is my favorite thing she's worn on this season so far. Such a big fan. The contour on the breast too in the middle, I think like all the details are there. She's got a gorgeous shape in this too. They knocked it out of the park for me.
I fully agree.
Scores.
A 99.
I gave her a 96.
Work, Diva.
And last up is her design challenge look.
Boot.
Really?
I don't like it at all.
Okay.
I thought this entire look, outside of the use of the netting, which I thought was a really cool like addition to the look, I think it added a lot to it. I hate these looks when people go like, I'm gonna put a big poofy something here and a big poofy something diagonal to it, and then I'm gonna have something on my head to make it look a little bit more poofy. It's one of my personal pet peeves, and I can acknowledge that I am probably loud and wrong on this.
Yeah.
It just gives me like unfinished 70s prom dress.
Okay.
And like, oh god, it bugs me. I don't like it. I like the necklace. The necklace is cute.
Okay.
I like the color palette of it, but I hate these like big poofy random additions to things.
Okay. Well, our agreeing did not last long. I really like this. I think this is actually one of the better executed designed looks for me. I do like the fact that we have the poof on the hair, the poof on the shoulder, the poof on like it doesn't always work. And I acknowledge and I agree with you that it doesn't always work. Here for me, it does work. I think it looks good. The cut of the leotard as well, I really like. She went for that high cut, and I really appreciate that. Seeing as much leg as we do too, I think that really balances the look nicely. The leotard is what it is, but I think she sold it in such a good way. The netting is such a good detail as well. I like the color palette that she went with. Ultimately, it's a bit darker for Jules, and I do appreciate that we're seeing versatility from Jules in that regard. And overall, I think she looks good. Scores.
40.
I gave her an 81.
Valid. Totally valid.
Next up, Lydia Butthole Kollins. First up in her Bathing Beauties look.
This is camp. This is camp. Every week I'm becoming more and more of a fan of Ms. Butthole, and I can't really deny it. I haven't been here to talk about it, right? Wasn't here last week. Yep. She ate that lip sync up. Oh my god. Oh god. I like Lydia a lot, and I really like this look a lot. I think the addition of the idea of I'm just gonna throw some dicks on here. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? I think this is a great look. I think she looks really pretty too, and that's something we don't really see from Lydia very often. Or these ideas of like, she's normally so campy that we don't really get to see like the sex appeal with her. So I'm really into this. I think this is a great look.
I absolutely agree. I love that this is camp and sexy at the same time, and I really appreciated seeing that from her. This soft makeup on Lydia, again, it's not something we're used to, but I do really like it. She's someone else that I think on time has been giving us a lot of versatility so far in her looks, and I appreciate that we're getting something very, very sexy. Leg out. I think her body looks great. The bathing suit is whatever, but I think the additional camp elements really elevate it. It's not my absolute favorite thing in the world, but I think she executed it very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
Scores.
I am gonna give this a 88.
Okay. I gave her a 71.
Valid. Again, employing the use of the bathing suit bell curve, patent pending.
Right. My bell curve is a little bit shallower than your bell curve.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Lydia in her Creature Couture being an anglerfish, which a lot of people online don't seem to understand that she's an anglerfish jockey.
I don't know how you don't get anglerfish from this. I mean, have you all seen Finding Nemo?
Have you watched the show, Tamar?
Tamar, do you watch the show? Like the second she turned the corner before they even said what she was, oh my god, she's an anglerfish. I adore this. This is pure camp. I think this entire look is phenomenal. I think it's funny. I will say the idea of she's a jockey on the anglerfish, I didn't like as much as if she would have just went for anglerfish. Right. But like, it's still really cool, and I'm not gonna knock it beyond that. Is it the best executed thing on the planet? No, but like, it's fine. It's really cool. I like the idea at least.
Yeah, that's kind of where I leave it. Is like conceptually, I really, really like it. It feels very Lydia to do something like this, and I appreciate the choice. I think the execution definitely misses the mark for me. I think the concept of doing anglerfish jockey I really like, but I don't love the amount of tulle coming out of the back of the garment. I get zero shape from her. The presentation on the runway as well, we didn't really get to see the actual garment. We kind of just see the anglerfish, and so it takes away from the overall presentation for me. The jockey coat she has going on was a little ill-fitting. I like having the 17 badge, and that kind of gave it that jockey element for me. I kind of just wish she had done like an anglerfish puppet, like done the puppet on the arm, and then had this like some sort of like, it could be a jockey outfit, and I don't mind that, but I just wish it was like either on the shoulder or on the arm, as opposed to just in the middle, because I think we lose the entire garment, and then it's just the anglerfish puppet, which is good, but I'm concept 10 out of 10. Execution left a lot to be desired for me.
Sure.
Scores.
72.
65.
Valid.
And last up is Lydia in her design challenge look.
Well, I'm gonna give her 8s on this day.
Okay.
I'm gonna give her 8s because I think she ate. This is one of my favorite design challenge looks from this week. I think that I think in the use of non-conventional materials, right? I'm one of those people that I like being able to see the materials that you used. For the most part, I think there's a few exceptions to that, notably like Lady Camden's design look from season 14. Did not care that I could not tell what it was. This, though, I like being able to see that it's not made of fabric, right? I think it adds a lot more to it. I think the creativity here is astounding. I don't know how she did this, like how this is made and like how it is constructed. I couldn't tell you. And I think that adds a lot more to it for me as well. In terms of overall everything, is it the best look this week? No, but I think in terms of the way it is presented and how she is basically has to stand like that, because we saw it during the lip sync too. She was literally standing there with her arms out at that exact angle because she literally could not move them. That's dedication. So I'm here for this.
I wish I was here for this more. This is actually one of my least favorite design looks this week. I like that we see what the material is still. I do definitely agree with you on that. The execution is messy for me.
Valid.
The execution, unfortunately, is really messy. I don't love. Honestly, it could be different. For me, it looks like a bunch of metal tubes glued to a corset, which I think is just what it is. I like that there's several different draping elements going on with the bottom half of the look. I think that adds there's a little bit of geometric quality that I really like, not to be confused with Canada's
Geometric
2-star geometric. But there's some geometry going on that I really like. Everything she's done here is intentional. I just don't like it. And the face cage too, I just don't.
Everything she's done here is intentional, but I just don't like it. Okay.
That is how I feel.
That's crazy. Oh, I love it. Clip that. Scores?
That's just I gave her a 60.
I gave her an 80.
All right. Next up, Sam Star bathing suit or bathing beauty.
Fourth verse, same as the first. It's fine. Will I appreciate the fact that she went for at least something of a reference? Sure. But if you're doing a bathing suit look, the itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini is one of the first things I will think of. Yeah. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just a bathing suit. I don't know what else to say about this category.
No, I agree with you. I appreciate. I agree with you. I appreciate that at least it's a concept, It's not an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini though. It is a decently sized yellow polka dot bikini. And actually, in that regard, with the reference to the hair and the way that the bikini is shaped, I actually wish this was a high waisted bikini. Because I think that would have fit the reference that she was doing a little bit better. So it's definitely not bad. There's some execution things I wish were a little bit better. So, scores.
Once again, employing the use of the bathing suit belt carve patent pending. We're gonna give it a 70.
I gave her a 67. We have Sam in her Sea Creature Couture look, and Sam is a viper fish.
Waist up, love. Waist down, not a fan.
Okay.
I think, and part of it just has to do with how this is naturally going to flow on the runway, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to contribute to how you're walking. It's not going to move with you in a way that's compelling. We saw it, in fact, on her walk back. It actually smacked her in the leg, and it created this really ugly effect on the look for me. I don't think you need the third layer of drapery here. I think you could have went with the second two and maybe lowered it a little bit, and it would have been fine. Love the headpiece. I think the headpiece is the best thing about this look. Otherwise, I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, I think there were some execution things that could have been stronger, but overall, I actually really like the garment. The bodysuit and this kind of like silver spiked bodysuit that she has on is like the base layer of this. I really, really like. I think that actually elevates the look a lot for me because it does kind of look like she's got this like silver sheen to her skin and the spikes coming out of it. It does reference the actual fish that she's referencing, so I appreciate that. The headpiece is cool. I like the idea of the cage. I just don't like we said, I don't love the execution of it. It did hit her in the leg a few times, including literally in this photo. And I don't love the silver boot with this. I think a boot like this on someone like Sam just makes her look shorter. But the overall effect of the look, I did enjoy. So, scores.
45.
83. And last up, we have Sam in her design challenge look.
This is my least favorite look this week.
I'm gagged by that. I gotta be honest with you.
Girl, she literally took a piece of fabric and she glued or sewed a crap ton of trash bags to it on the bottom half of this look. Why are we not knocking that? Because that's what she did.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna counter that. You literally just said when talking about Lydia that you appreciate seeing the unconventional material that someone is using in their garment.
There's a difference between an unconventional material used in a garment and just putting an unconventional material on a garment. Because
I don't think it's just putting it on a garment here. I think it's actually really well executed and well placed, and it gives that kind of ball gown shape while still giving like the story that she gave and like the way that she presented this really, really worked for me. I understand that it didn't work for you. For me, it really worked.
Like, and I'll be honest, the difference between Lydia and this for me, right, is Lydia's look, I feel like, could not exist without the materials she is using, right? This could exist without the trash bags, right? Like, if you took the trash bags off,
I don't know that I would necessarily agree with Lydia's either.
Well, I mean, the way Lydia did it, I mean, it would still be like a corset, right?
Yeah.
But the overall look would look completely different if you took all the tubes off of it, right? There would be no drapery element. It would just be a corset, right?
Yeah.
This would still be a ball gown, right? And honestly, I'd probably like it better if it was just the ball gown because I think adding all of these trash bags onto it just muddies everything about this look. There's nowhere for me to look at it. There's nowhere that I find enjoyment because all I'm seeing are these like half-filled bags of trash. Like, I don't like that. I love her wig. I really love the wig that she chose with this. I think that the neck up of this is fantastic. Actually, honestly, the waist up of this was fantastic. If she would have done what she did with the arms here, right?
Mhm.
I know I mentioned earlier I don't like poofs, but these are like just shoulder poofs. I'm fine with that, right? Like if she would just place those on the arms and like that, I thought it was really a unique element that added something to the upper half of this look. So it's not like the worst. Okay, let me rephrase. It's not the worst look of the week. I just don't like it that much. I think the bottom half really detracts from it. But the upper half is great.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I overall, I like the color palette here. I think the idea, like I said, the idea and the concept that she went with, I think she executed it really well. This wasn't my favorite design look by any means of the imagination, but I do think she did a pretty decent job with it. Scores.
A 43, because that's about how much percentage of this look I like.
All right. I gave her an 80. Next up, Onya Nurve.
And it do take nerve.
It do indeed take nerve.
This is one of the very few looks this week I don't have to say it's fine out of the bathing suit category. So thank you, Onya.
I know.
This is great.
It's pretty good.
This is really good. I don't know why more people didn't use this kind of a cover up on their look, because like she didn't do. No offense to Onya here, she didn't do anything groundbreaking. She literally put on a bathing suit, wore this like sheen cover up, and like had this really nice wig. And it's still one of the best looks in the category.
Yeah, I'm still living for it.
Like, this is fantastic. Also, the choice of the bathing suit here is really creative. I don't think I've ever seen a bathing suit that looks like that, but I'm into it.
Oh, I have. And I really liked it when it came out.
I don't go to the beach.
Fair.
I'm a theme park girly, right? If I'm going on vacation,
yes.
I'm a theme park girly. But this is fantastic. I love this a lot.
Yeah, I actually have a tie for my favorite look in this category. This is half of the tie. I really, really love what Onya did here. The cover up for me is giving all of the glamour and the elegance that I need in a category like this. The actual bathing suit itself, I really like the cutouts and the way that it kind of slinks around the body. I think it's a really good effect. I could have changed the wig. It's got I don't know if it's a hard front, but it kind of stops very abruptly on the head, and it's not on your head. And it's not exactly my favorite wig in the world, but the mug is great, and the overall rest of the garment is great. The accessorization is gorgeous. I think she looks great.
I'm serving fashion tonight on the runway.
Period. Scores.
This is a 90. Once again, employing the use of the bathing suit bell curve. Patent pending.
I gave her an 85. Let's talk about Onya in her Sea Creature Couture. She is an African sea star.
So, I'm going to give her the things I like about this. I think the color palette is nice. It is very interesting. I think she gave that star illusion here. I'm here for that. That's about it.
Really?
I like it. It's just kind of hard for me to explain what I don't like about it, because there are elements of this I really enjoy. I just really okay, I think I know what it is. I don't like the thigh area of this look, I think, is my problem.
Oh, the way that it's poofing.
Yeah, I'm not against poofing in general, but like, because of so the whole thing about a starfish is that they always are like symmetrical unless you like cut off one of their arms, right?
Yeah.
Like, and for me, because there's no poofing on the arms, it just it bothers me, and it's such a nitpick, and I'm such a nerd for having this nitpick about it. But like, I just wish it was a little bit more streamlined on the sides there, or add some poofing to the arm that would have made it look like a fully complete look. If she would have done the thing she did on the legs and put it on her arms too, fully sold. This would be one of the best looks of the week. Yeah,
I just looked at the inspiration, and I do kind of wish there was at least like a sleeve. I think a sleeve would have added. This is still one of my favorite looks of the week. Even like irregardless of that. Oh no, she's got the arms. It's literally on the shoulder.
Yeah, but I still wish it was a sleeve.
I don't mind it now. Now that I know that there's like all the arms are accounted for, and I do appreciate her for accounting for all the arms. Yeah, I like the wig. I love the effect of the pants. The pants are so cool to me. The way this is constructed is so good. The spikes on the shoe, everything for me. Overall, I really enjoy this.
Okay, I missed the spikes on the shoe. I like that a lot too. I'm gonna give it a 75.
I gave her a 92.
Valid.
And last up is Onya in her design challenge look.
Now, it is hard to pull off a look with this color palette, like these like really dark tones that don't really like have any like shining element like color-wise, like big differentiating colors from just the brown color palette. And these like darker, like muddier tones. I think it looks fantastic. I think there is literally nothing I would change about this look. When it comes to construction, I think she devoured this. I really think there's nothing wrong with this look. Like pretty much at all. And I feel like I may be the only person on the panel who feels that way. But I don't know how Onya wasn't in the top with this week. I think this is fantastic.
You are, because I don't particularly love this. I think what it comes down to, honestly, is the color palette. I kind of wish she had gone with really any of the other materials. If she was out there spray painting this whole thing brown, I kind of wish she had used some other spray paint. Like, for me, I appreciate the brown and the green that she's got going on here. I don't really, unfortunately, seeing it on TV, I'm not getting any of the details. Like, I think all of the details are lost in the fact that the color palette is so muted and so similar. Onya has a gorgeous shape, and this garment doesn't give her any. The actual garment is fine and acceptable. I think this garment is literally the reason she wasn't in the top. Like, I don't love it, unfortunately.
I get where you're coming from, because like I mentioned, it is hard to do this kind of color palette and get all the detailing out and like make it visible. But I don't know. There's just something so intriguing and appealing about it to me. Maybe it's just Onya Nurve. Maybe I just really like Onya Nurve. I don't know. But I just think it's
I like her too. I'm not a huge fan of this book, unfortunately.
I like it a lot, personally.
Fair. Scores.
95.
60.
I feel like the design elements is where we're going to be different this week.
Yep.
I'm setting fashion tonight on the runway.
Arriretty.
I don't have any notes. I have none. This is like Matrix Na'vi going for a dip in the pool. Yes, please. Yes, please.
I mean, I think she looks incredible here. The wig is great. The bodysuit is great. The makeup is great. The makeup transformation she was able to do across these three looks is absolutely remarkable, and we'll talk about it. The bathing suit itself, I love how piecey it is. I love all the pieces coming together. The one critique I will give is that I wish there's like a stocking element going on the leg. It kind of stops abruptly at the heel, and I kind of wish it went into the heel. And then I wish the skirt situation that she has going on, I wish there were a couple more panels so that it really gave like a full, well-rounded effect. Because right now, like with the three, I think it's a good effect, but I just wanted maybe 3 more panels kind of connecting across just to give like a full 360 kind of effect.
I just, even with that note, and I get where you're coming from with that, right? The way the skirts are hooked into the top, right? I don't know how you add anything more to that without it looking weird. Like, in the way
I maybe would have added, maybe not 3 more, maybe like 1 or 2 more. I just wanted it to be a bit more. I wanted it a bit fuller.
Valid. I think this is high concept though, and
this is still tied for my favorite look of this category. So like, whatever. Scores.
This is a 99, and the only reason it is not full, and this is such a teeny tiny nitpick, is I don't like the elbow cutouts on the arm sleeve.
Fair.
And that's it. Like, even then, that's just a personal thing. I can get it if people do like it. I just tiny nitpick.
I gave Arriretty an 85 for this look. And then her lionfish.
This is the best look this week by far. Nothing comes close.
Jules in this category.
Nothing comes close. Like, as much as I love Jules, and I think her Spanish dancer look was fantastic, right? What do you change? What do you look at this look and you say you find fault in it? Where is there a problem with this look? I can't find one. And I will find the tiniest nitpicks to nitpick over. See last category.
I have one.
Go ahead.
I wish the headpiece was a bit fuller with the feathers that she's got going on. Just because there's so much feathering happening on the arm and there's so much feathering happening in the rest of the garment. I wish the headpiece matched a little bit.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but to me, it just distracts from the rest of the look if it was a little bit fuller. I think what she's doing is she's keeping a little bit of the poof that's going on with the head from the bottom end, but she's pulling you down into the actual look. And when you look at like the back elements that are going on here, the patterning is like borderline identical to a lionfish. You have these really interesting elements that are going around her neck and on her chest that just add so much to this. The silhouette is fantastic. The makeup is fantastic. Also, she did 3 different faces of makeup for each individual look in this ball. You are a mad woman. This is perfect. No notes. Full cup.
All right. I gave her a 96. This is still my favorite look of the week. So 96.
Thank you.
Wow. And then last up, we have Arriretty in her design challenge look.
8.
8.
Who ate my steak? Like, what the hell? Like,
it's so good. Like you, if you had told me she brought this from home, I would have believed you. Like, it's so immaculately done. The spray painting here, despite all the drama that blue spray paint caused for her, it worked out in her favor because I think the combination of the blue and the pink here is so cool. The hair, the makeup, the detailing, all of the coral and whatnot that she made out of hot glue, like, work, bitch. It's so good. The shoe with this too, I love the shoe choice. Her legs look so long. She looked so tall and statuesque in this. The ombre that she's got going on here. This is one of the best design challenge looks I've ever seen.
This is a top 5 design challenge look of all time. It's perfect. Like, literally, she thought about the tiniest details. And I am so impressed by everything she did on this ball. Personally, and I will say, up until this episode, I wasn't really feeling Arriretty, just like as a competitor on the season. This made me really pay attention. And I'm like really interested to see what she's going to bring going forward. I'm really excited to see her in other challenges and other runways. This is fantastic. This is great.
Agreed. Scores.
Full cup.
Fair. I gave her a 95.
Valid.
Next up, Miss Suzanne Elizabeth Toot.
Hi, draft team member. How are you doing? Sitting over there with your 2 challenge wins.
Period.
I just want to make for the record, because I have not been here. Okay. Team Brooke.
Slaying.
This is the best I've ever done in a draft, so I'm feeling great right now.
Period.
Period. But This is funny. I like the camp of it all. It is still a bathing suit, but at least it's a different kind of bathing suit. It's a fun little twist on this challenge and this runway, and I like it. Is it the most immaculate high concept thing on the planet? No, but like it's still fun.
That's exactly how I feel about it too. Like, I think it's just so fun. It's so Suzie. Like, I wouldn't have expected anything else from her.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the reference. And I appreciate, this is something that I have called her out on in previous weeks, so I was really happy to see it. She's got a little bit of shape in there. There's a little bit of hip. There's a little bit of cinch. I really appreciated that from her. The main critiques that I have are just that it's simple. It's simple. For this category, though, I think it's a little bit more elevated than what a lot of people did. I wish the mustache was a little bit bigger.
Valid.
I don't love the character shoe with it, but I don't know what else I would have done. So, you know.
I wish the ball was the same color as the red in the outfit. That's the other thing. It's not enough to like distract from me, but when we have ginger hair plus maroon on the outfit and this like normal red on the ball,
yeah,
it's too much different shades of that color. And I wish something would have matched in here. I don't know. I think the best thing would have been matching the ball to the outfit. But like, even though that's kind of a nitpick, but like, it looks good either way.
She looks great. Scores.
Once again, employing the use of the bathing suit bell curve, patent pending. This will be a 77.
I also gave her a 77.
Yay!
Next up, Suzie as an octopus, specifically a coconut shell octopus.
Serve.
Yeah.
This is great. You know, I wanted to do the counting because I wanted to make sure we got 8 tentacles here, and we do. So good job, Suzie. I was gonna be so aggravated if we only had like 7. Because at first it looks like there's only 7, but you can see that last tentacle wraps underneath her waist. So there is 8 tentacles here. This is great. I like this a lot. And I really like the headpiece because it gives you that funny little octopus head. And this is so goofy, but I love it so much. But it's also fashion.
Yeah, I really, really like this as well. I am going to be intrigued if we start to see, I want to see a different color palette from Suzie. We've got a lot of red, we've got a lot of pink, we've got a lot of orange. I would like a different color palette from Suzie. I would like to be surprised by Suzie in something that she, in something that she's wearing. I hope we see a little bit more versatility from her. I would like to see it. But overall, I think this is a really well executed look. The tentacles are great. The only thing I have an issue with is I don't love the makeup with this. It's a little bit muddied, and I understand that she was going for kind of the octopus suction cup concept in such a short period of time. So I do acknowledge that. But it doesn't really detract too much from the look for me. Scores.
84.
Shut up! I also gave it an 84.
We're 2 for 2 with Suzie.
I don't know if we'll be 3 for 3. Because let's talk about her design challenge, Luke.
Love the concept.
Hate the execution.
I like the wig. I like the right sleeve. And then everything else
is
girl, I'm sorry, but that corset is giving Calorie Kardashian. I'm sorry.
That's too harsh.
Okay, tell me you're not getting that exact same look that Calorie wore for the design challenge on the first week of season 10 in the corset area.
I do, unfortunately. I will say, I'm going to acknowledge the amount of craftsmanship here because there is a lot of individual elements going on in the corset and throughout the garment. I love it. I think they're bottle caps, and I really like that effect. I think it adds a lot of visual detail, but you can tell she ran out of them. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I like boobs up. I'm a big fan of what's happening here.
Boobs.
Everything else, I'm just not loving.
Yeah.
Scores?
47.
Oh, we are about 20 points off. I gave her a 67.
Oh, well, sure.
Whatever. Fair. Sure.
We did good. We did
good, gal.
They got me, gal.
Next up, my mother, Kori King.
Good. It's cute.
Good.
I will say, my favorite part of this look was when she came out as Left Shark. I thought that was
I cheered. I cheered so much. I love it. I loved it.
So me and my roommate were watching this, and bear in mind, he has become a Drag Race fan in the span of about 2 weeks. So we have been through all of season 6. I gave him a proper education. And then we started watching 17. And she comes out with Left Shark. I freak out. He looks at me, what are you talking about? Like Katy Perry, halftime show, Left Shark. No clue. No idea.
Oh no, educating the straights.
Ace, but yes.
Educating the aces.
Yeah.
Period.
But like, this is camp. I love all of this.
I am such a big fan of this. It's simple in the actual bathing suit itself, but I love that she came out as Left Shark. I do really appreciate that from Kori. I think it's a good reference. And this bathing suit is clean. It is clean. It is well executed. It is not the most groundbreaking concept. We've seen beach ball bathing suit several times on Drag Race, but this execution is good. I love the wig with this. I even like the boot with this because it is kind of giving like Super Bowl. So I like it. It's a pretty good recreation of the look that she's going for. Now, here's what I will say about Miss Kori. And I love Kori. I love Kori dearly. I would like to see more things from her on the runway that are not inspired by other things. I would like to see a little bit more originality from her. Because my favorite look of Kori so far was the Black Crow thing she wore in week 1. And everything else has kind of been inspired by something else. And I know that she is very heavily inspired by pop culture, and I do appreciate that. I want to see a little bit more individuality from Kori's looks. And I want to see a bit more of the Kori stamp on things, which we've seen in a lot of the stuff she's done since Drag Race. So I do appreciate that. But I hope that we get to see that in her Drag Race package a little bit.
Also, follow Kori King on Twitter.
Yes. Yes. Scores.
79.
83. Next up, Kori in her Sea Creature Couture. She is doing a mandarin fish. And this is where I got some individuality. Thank you, Kori.
I'm glad you got individuality. I did not get mandarin fish. But
I got the reference.
I got the reference, but like barely.
It's the exact color palette.
Just because it's the color palette doesn't mean it looks like the fish. Like, it's fine. I don't have an issue with it, but it's also not like anything particularly like a standout moment for me either. I do appreciate the fact that she is doing these different silhouettes because we know her big thing is that she likes the short dress. That's her thing. But these like longer things and like these bigger outfits are going to give her more versatility on the runway. So I'll give her that. But it's fine.
I really like this. It's a different silhouette. I appreciate a different silhouette from Kori. The bodysuit is so immaculately done. I love all of the metallic fabrics going on here. I think it really, really works. I don't love the shoe with this, but I don't know what else I would have personally done as far as the shoe goes. The cape kind of situation, I like that she took this inspiration and turned it into a character. And I think that I really, really like that. I don't love the wig. I just would have loved a little bit more of a bump to give it maybe a bit more of like a 60s flip kind of hairstyle. I think that may have worked a little bit better, especially because she was going kind of superhero with this. So I think like a little bit more of a bump, 60s kind of flip situation may have worked a little bit better. But overall, I really like it. It's my third favorite thing Kori has worn this season. Scores.
60.
Oh, 80. And last up, it's Vanity Milan. Oh, Vanity Milan. I mean, Kori King.
Well, she did hit the ground running.
She certainly did, shaking that ice.
I will say, again, we're going to talk about the short dress moment here, but I will give Kori this. The drapery on the bottom of this dress makes it feel different. Even if it's something that we see from her a decent amount, this feels unique enough that I'm okay with it. And we're going to be talking about someone else who did the exact same thing and should not have been in the bottom this week, and I'm bitter. But
Julie,
I think this look is cute. I think there's nothing wrong with it from like a basic level. I love that the shoes match the garment. I can't tell. Did she do a shoe cover on that?
No, I think that's just the shoe.
If she got real lucky, then
right.
But you know what? The shoes are cute. It matches the look. Thank God. I don't think this would have worked with like a regular, like a silver heel, you know. So I'm glad she had something that matched this orange, and it looks fantastic. I think. It looks cute.
I wish I liked this a little bit more than I do. I don't think it's bad. It's definitely not a bad look. I think the actual corset and the way that she's laid the ropes is really good. I agree with you. It's giving that mini dress effect, but in a really cool way. I like that all of the ropes are different lengths. I think that adds a little bit of visual interest as well. Her legs look so long here. And this is where I actually, on Kori, I really love an ankle boot. It does kind of just, it evens out her proportions a little bit, and I really like that. The wig, I'm not in love with. The random blue fabric sash going on, I'm not in love with. I wish there were two. I wish it was symmetrical. I don't love what's going on the shoulder. The accessorization is cute. But overall, like, it leaves a little bit to be desired for me personally.
Fair.
So, scores.
A 74. A sensible 74.
Thank you very much. I gave her a 69.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Next up, Acacia Forgot. Oh, don't do that.
Oh, there's the look on the runway. Sorry.
Oh, you bitch.
This is terrible. IMO. Girl.
Okay.
Beach ball. Okay, sure. Right? Sure. I see where you're coming from. But the cap doesn't match.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It is literally the same color palette.
It is the same colors, but it is not the same color palette. There is a difference. Because here's the thing. There is so much Colgate white in that damn shower cap and that swim cap. It is distracting me. because I should be looking at the outfit, but because white is a color that will naturally pull focus, it pulls me to the cap. There's more white on that than anything else, and it bugs me. Also, where's the white on the arms? Why is there no white on the arms? If we're going to have all of the other colors on your arms, why is there no white? Why are the patterns of the rings different on each arm? That's a tiny, easy fix to make them symmetric going down. If she would have done yellow, blue, red going down those arms, even without the white, to match the outfit so it creates like a extension illusion, even if it's not a big one, that would have made this outfit look 10 times better than it does. Also, doesn't fit her. So there's that. I think the wig is a terrible choice for this look. I didn't realize we were having a James Mansfield wig convention today, but apparently we are. Like, I hate the shoe. Like, I am finding very little about this look to enjoy.
What's wrong with a white pump?
I don't think it adds anything to this. I feel like it should.
Okay, and I don't think it takes away from it.
Not a fan.
I'm not saying this is the best look on this runway by any means of the imagination. And I do agree with a lot of what you're saying. I do wish that the rings matched, or at least matched the sequence of the way that the bodysuit works. The swim cap, I do not understand where you're coming from with that personally. I actually really like the effect that the swim cap has, and I really like the wig. I think it's giving that kind of like big blonde 70s moment that I really like with this. I don't think it's bad by any means. There are some fit issues. I definitely agree with that too. But we know that girls lose weight on Drag Race. So I'm not going to give her that much flack for it not fitting. If it was super, super ill-fitting, that would be one thing. Sure. This is not super ill-fitting. Mm-hmm. Overall, I think this is a very serviceable look for this category.
I agree. It needed to be serviced.
I would like to service her. Anyway, scores.
8.
That is rude and disrespectful. That is rude and disrespectful.
This is my least favorite look on this category, for the record. I want to establish that. This is my least favorite look in this category.
Okay, whatever. I gave her a 70.
Sure.
Uh-huh. Which is what it should be scored. There goes all of my praise for Acacia, though. I gotta be honest.
Oh, I hated this look.
I don't like this. This is my least favorite in this category.
I don't even remember what the thing she was going for, right?
It was not the same color palette, but that
was the big thing. It
was a feather star. So I understand what she's doing with like the feathers and trying to emulate that.
Girl, get it in the same color. Like it's
feathers.
Because
the color palette was like browns and blues. If it was in that color palette, it'd be great.
If it was an unconventional materials thing, and it was like, if this was her design look, right? And it was, this is the feathers I had available, and this is the kind of thing I'm going for, whatever. Girl, you bought this from home. Yeah. They make blue and brown feathers. It's not this is one of those things that I just don't understand why it isn't in the right color palette. Because if it was,
that's kind of where I'm at too.
Yeah, like, because there's that, and also I don't even think the illusion's that good of what she's trying to emulate here. I like the Vegas style piece. I think that's the best part of this whole look. Is the top, is the neck up is great.
Yeah,
I wish it was in the right color, but other than that,
yeah.
Not a fan, unfortunately. Again, oh, I will give her one thing. I like the cutout on the hip. I think that adds something.
Okay.
I think it adds a little bit more dimension to this, other than looking like a bunch of bunched up fabric, which it doesn't look like that. It could have looked like that without having that break in the middle.
Yeah, I just wish it was in a different color palette that matched, the inspiration that she was going for. And that's honestly why it is my least favorite look on this category, because it's just the furthest away from the actual inspiration of the sea creature.
Sure.
Scores.
39.
53.
Sure.
And last up is her designed look.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's not the worst design look I've ever looked at, but it certainly isn't memorable. I don't like the headpiece thing. I don't get why it's there. It's not aluminum foil, but I can't tell you what it is that's constructing this look. Like the silver
I
parts.
think it's those like aluminum food pans because Lydia was using the same thing, and I think there were a bunch of them. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I like the tarp. I think the tarp looks nice. But I don't know. I just feel like those silver things just don't need to be on the chesticle area. Maybe that's just me. But like
you, so it's not just you.
I don't know. I don't feel like it. I feel like it adds nothing to the look. But maybe that's just because we're not there. We can't see it in person. I don't know. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's unfortunate. It's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite. But it's not great for me, unfortunately. I appreciate that at least there's a design concept here. Like there is a concept, there is, intention behind everything. Unfortunately, it is, as Kori said in the episode, felt glued onto a corset. And I just don't think that necessarily works. I like what she's doing with the hip, having something in the hip to kind of create this shape. But I just wish it was rounder as opposed to this like jutting out, because it makes her look a little boxier than she ever does. And Acacia has a great shape. It's something I've talked about all season. Like her shape has always been clean, and most of what she's presented has been very clean and very well executed. So this week was a major kind of miss in that regard for me. I agreed with La Roche. I just would take I like some of the silver aluminum elements. I don't need all of them. Like I would say take them off of the breast and take them off of the shoe, but I actually really like it as a headpiece and as like a wrist piece together. I like the color palette that she went with, silver and then this like kind of mid-tone blue and then the darker blue in the tarp I like. I just wish there was a little bit more visual interest overall.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned that. I think I don't like the headpiece because there are so many of the silver pieces on here. I think if you take those off and you have it as like just like a wrist accoutrement and then like the headpiece, maybe like even the ones on the shoe. I don't mind the shoe.
I was gonna say the headpiece and the wrist, or the headpiece and the shoe, or the breast and the shoe, or the breast and the wrist. Like I like take a couple of them off, and I think the effect of the rest of them would have been stronger.
I agree. Yeah.
Scores
50.
I gave her a 61.
Fair. I see where you're coming from.
Yep. Next up, Lexi Love. Whole lot of Lexi Love.
I love you, Lexi. Love you down. I get what you're going for. Maybe uncomfy. Which I mean, I guess is the point. I don't think anyone should be comfy looking at this, because if you are, I have questions. But I enjoy it. I just don't want to look at it.
Valid. I love what she's going for here. I think it's so smart. The merkin is merkening. The censorship is censoring. I do appreciate that at least the censor bar was stoned. Like, I appreciate that there are stones on the censor bar. Her body looks absolutely insane. The wig is great. The makeup is great. The nails are great. Scores.
I don't even know how to score this. How do you score this look? Because, like, what? Not to be rude. What is there to score, really?
A censor bar, a merkin, a wig. I gave her a 70. Just a flat.
You know what? I'll steal that score. It's a 70. I don't know how else to score this. Because it's good, but I don't know what I'm scoring here. Do I score the stones on the censor board? Like,
yes, and that is what I'm scoring. I'm scoring the concept. That's what I'm scoring.
Okay.
And the concept is good, but it's not much better than a 70.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say, honestly.
So we're going to move on to her sea creature look where she is a purple stinger jellyfish.
I loved this.
I loved this too.
I think this was one of the best looks in this category. Lexi, keep doing what you're doing, girl. You may not have gotten a win since the second week, but you're bringing the draft points in, and I appreciate it. So thank you. This look is fantastic. I think every single thing about this look is just immaculate from top to bottom. No notes.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. This is one of my favorite looks of this category. The effect that everything has going on. The fact that it's pants, too. Like, I kind of live for the fact that it's pants.
Pants!
Oh my God, it's pants! Like, the wig is great. The headpiece is great. The overall effect is so good. Like, I love how sheer the fabric is. All of it just works for me. She looks like this ethereal jellyfish goddess. And I'm kind of living for the effect of ethereal jellyfish goddess.
Mm-hmm.
So, work, ethereal jellyfish goddess. Scores.
Full.
All right. I gave her a 93.
Valid.
And last up, we have her design challenge Luke. Well,
it's kind of hard to explain my feelings on this because on the one hand, I really like this look. I think the construction is cool. I like the fact that she didn't try to get rid of the Onya Nurve spray paint on the thing and just turned it into like, well, now I have stuff on the inside too, and like made it a little bit more like a full complete look. I don't like the wig at all. I really don't like that wig. With this look, I think the wig could work with other things. I just don't think it works with this. I think Lexi may have said like, well, I'm just gonna pick a wig that I don't know what I'm really gonna match it with for now, and I'm gonna hope for the best. I don't really know what else to say. I think it's good. I just don't know how much I really like it. You know what I mean?
I wish there was more of a design going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my biggest critique. I did say in the recap this was my least favorite. I am going to amend that. My score is just a little bit higher than my least favorite, which is actually a three-way tie between three people.
Mm-hmm.
Shockingly, a three-way tie between three people. I know. I will say she sold the absolute fuck out of this garment. And for that, I'm going to give her some props. I love the wig. And I love the wig specifically on Lexi. I think just with her proportions and just how like skinny she is, I kind of just love this big bouncy wig. I think it works. I also, and I really appreciate Hunter Schafer for this. I clocked the Monet Water Lilies reference immediately, and I really appreciate that she kind of went with that. But ultimately, she put a hole in the tarp and then put it on her body. And I wish there was a bit more like actual draping and kind of intentional design with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm missing a little bit of that intentional design element from Lexi here. But overall, she sold it, and I wasn't mad at it. And that's where I'm at with this.
I agree.
Scores.
68.
I gave her a 63.
Fair. We move.
We do. To Hormona Lisa.
Yay. I thought this was adorable. Do I agree that maybe there should have been some bubbling happening somewhere on the look? Sure.
Yes.
Fully agree. I would like to formally ask a question of Michelle Visage. So are we going to go after Kristen Chenoweth for her bubble gun now too?
A bubble gun.
A bubble gun.
A bubble gun. Immediately, and no one I was watching with understood that reference, but every time I see a bubble gun now, specifically on Drag Race, I'm always just like, a bubble gun.
A bubble gun.
A bubble gun. I love it. I'm so glad we went to the same place with this.
Well, as you may or may not remember, I am a Kristen Chen with Girly. So as such,
well, I am as well. I love Kristen.
Exactly. So love seeing a bubble gun.
A bubble
gun. I don't have any major issues with this. It's not the same silhouette, and I really want people to stop saying it is. It's a different silhouette. So, fight me.
I think it's good. I think it's well executed and it's clean. And that is something I'm going to say about all three of the looks that Hormona presented on this ball. I think they're clean, safe, concise, and well done. I actually would have liked if the skirt was like a half-inch longer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like, for Hormona specifically and her proportions, which her body is T. Her body is T, always. But I just want the skirt to be a little bit longer to kind of match all of the other proportions that she has going on. I would have liked a little proportionizing. Absolutely. I want a little bit of hair underneath the swim cap. I think that would have been a nice touch. There's just a lot of detailing that I would have added that would have elevated the look beyond just a bubble gun. But I'm not mad at this.
We need to pull a bubble gun on the off chance that we ever see another bubble gun.
I don't think it's worth it.
It's great though.
Scores.
A 70. Once again, employing the use of the bathing suit bell curve.
I gave her a 68.
Fair.
Next up, Hormona in her Sea Creature Couture, she is referencing a leafy sea dragon.
She looks beautiful. Do I get leafy sea dragon from it? Not really.
No.
I will say the purple effect on this gives me a little something of it, so I will give her that. She looks fantastic. I'm gonna give her that too. Didn't really get the category assignment, to be honest with you, but it's still real pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. Again, for me, it's safe. It's clean. It's well done. I don't love the purple tulle situation on the side. I kind of wish what I would have done with this, and I think this would have elevated her look beyond the same silhouette we've been seeing from her, is I wish she had taken the shape of a leafy sea dragon and taken that purple fabric, cut out the shape of a leafy sea dragon, and just embossed it on the front of the gown. Because I think it would have, the way that it kind of like, it's a very like free flowing kind of plant. And I think that, I think there's a way to do it across the garment or even like across the breasts coming down to the hip. I think there's a way to do it to where it looks a little bit more intentional and it gives a little bit more of the actual reference that she's going for beyond just using the color palette. But the color palette that she is using here is cute. I like the, I think it's tulle on the base of the skirt that does kind of give water. So there's a lot of elements here that I like, but overall it's safe.
Sure. And that's exactly where she should have landed. Safe. Low
safe would have been fine for me personally.
But. Same, but still safe.
Scores.
Because it doesn't necessarily fully meet the criteria of the assignment, I'm not going to give it as high of a score as I would have. Actually, I'll do this. As a look, this is like an 85. I think this looks really great. In terms of meeting the criteria of the assignment, and my actual score will be a 56.
Oh, okay. I gave this also a 68.
Valid.
Same score.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Hormona in her design challenge look.
I love this. Love it. Not the same silhouette. Adding in, making really creative use of the trash bags to form almost like a hoop skirt moment here. I think that's creative. The hair works really well with this. I don't know if it's necessarily giving Marilyn like she was going for, even though she's got Marilyn hair on. But like, I think it's kind of hard to just pull a Marilyn look out of your face and just have it. You know what I mean? This look is great. I don't like. Is it safe? Sure, but like, since when are we knocking a safe look in a design challenge for being safe? I don't get it. Fundamentally, I think this look was fantastic. So there you go.
I think it's well constructed. The main issue I have is actually this random piece of blue fabric kind of tacked on in the front. I don't think that was necessary. I kind of wish we just got rid of that, because otherwise the shape she's creating here is actually really cool. I like the silhouette. It's just simple. It's simple and safe, and that's kind of what it is. I like the little bit of green coming across. I just wish there was a bit more accessorizing. I wanted something a little bit more elevated. Do I like the shoe with this? No, I don't. I wish it was. Sorry. It's just a nude pump.
Oh, it's fine. Okay.
I wish it was like a blue or a green or something like that.
It's not anything that takes away from the look, but it doesn't add to it either.
Yeah, and overall, it was just perfectly fine.
This is my perfectly inoffensive of the selection.
Sure, yeah.
I would give it a 74.
I literally gave her a 68 across the board for all three categories.
I should.
So, last up is Lana Ja'rae.
It's a bathing suit.
It sure indeed is.
I like the Sam print on the butt cheek. I don't know the reference, but I'm assuming it's somehow fashion.
It's a Tyla music video. Tyla, she's a R&B rap
unfamiliar.
Lovely.
Doesn't shock me. Sounds great. I'll look her up. But I think this looks great. I don't have any issues with this look. It is just a bathing suit, though, and it will once again be subjected to the bathing suit bell curve patent pending. So
I was underwhelmed by this. I think she relied on her body here. I'm not fundamentally upset at that. I do love that we got the iconic water pleasers. I do appreciate that we got the pleaser with the water. Thankfully, there were no fish in it, Lana. But I mean, it's a skimpy bikini and a sand print on her butt. I think what would have dragged it up a little bit more for me is I want the hair to be bigger. I want the hair to be 3 times the size of this. And I think this actually would have worked as a concept for me. I just wanted the proportion of that to be a little bit bigger. Maybe the heel to be higher. But it's a bikini and her body looks good.
Agreed.
Scores.
For the final time, employing the use of the bathing suit bell curve patent pending. This will be a 60.
I gave her a 53.
I'm giving her bonus points for the pleasers.
I was also giving her bonus points for the pleasers.
Valid.
Let's talk about Lana in her Creature Couture. She was doing a purple sea urchin.
This look was great until she took the bottom half of it off.
The look got better when she took the bottom half off, actually.
I really like the bottom half of this look. I think it adds dimension. I think it adds a little bit of something that makes it a little bit better. I'm here for it. I don't think this look is great to begin with, to be honest. I think that it's kind of just giving it's not really giving me sea urchin, but sure. I get the idea of the spinies. I think it makes sense. I like the spikes. I think it looks cool. I think the thing that I liked about the train was that it created more than just this, right? And And also she had spikes on the back of the train. So there's that too.
Yep.
It was kind of honestly giving me more like Nido King than Sea Urchin.
Fair.
But yeah.
Fair and valid, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not my favorite look in this category. I don't think it's bad by any means. It's perfectly fine. I would have liked the bottom skirt part if she was able to walk with it, but she wasn't able to walk in it. And I think once she took it off, she was kind of able to really strut. And I really liked the effect going on. I just needed everything about the base garment to be bigger. I needed the spikes to be bigger. I needed the shoulders to be bigger. It didn't give Purple Sea Urchin for me. I wanted there to be a bit more roundness to it. Like, I wish it was like a puffer sleeve situation. I think that would have been a little bit cooler, but it's not bad.
54.
Okay. I gave her a 65.
Sure.
And last for this ball, Lana in her design challenge look.
Last for this ball, last in this ball, and last place on the runway tonight for me. Lana, I like you a lot. You have been really fun to have on this season thus far. This was not it. And I think based on your posture on the runway and how you were trying to sell it, I think part of you probably felt that too. I think you look fantastic as usual, but I think it's just, I didn't like anything about this. I really hate to be that negative, especially about a queen I really like Lana, but yeah, it's a miss for me. I'm sorry.
I don't think it's a complete miss. Like I said, I have this tied for my least favorite with both Lydia and Onya. All three of those looks were kind of just like perfectly fine for me. What I love the most about this is the hair, the makeup, and the way that she had this like one strand of hair squiggling down the front. I really like that. I liked this much more without the netting on the skirt, and I'm glad she took it off in the lip sync so I could kind of see it. I actually think it works a lot better without it. But otherwise, it is a mini dress and a little bit of like watery stuff coming off. It just didn't. I wasn't living, unfortunately. Scores.
I don't want to do it, but I kind of feel like I need to.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm pleading. I'm sorry. I feel bad. Like, I don't want to plead on this. I can see the effort, and I know you're not a seamstress. But, like, oh.
I gave her a 60. So that is that on that for this video. So thank you for joining us for this Look Over Here episode for The Ball on RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17. We'll be back next week to talk about episode 7. It's Snatch Game time. Snatch Game. If you missed our episode recap where we talked all about the drama, make sure to go check that out as well. Otherwise, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for joining. Let us know all your thoughts on the ball down in the comments below. And make sure to check out the description where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our the YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including not limited to cup mug. With all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So, cheers!
Cheers.
And don't you dare forget the Ella.